Hey, my name is Emmanuel, and the game that I'll be playing and demoing for you today is Empire of Steel. Empire of Steel was actually released under various names depending on which regions it was released to. We have Empire of Steel, Steel Empire, and in Japan, pardon my mispronunciation, Kotetsu Teikoku. This game was released in 1992 for the Sega Genesis. This game was developed by a company known as Hot B. We can see this reference in the bottom right hand corner of the Japanese box art. However, if we look over to the left in the middle box art, we'll see a different name, Flying Edge. Flying Edge was a division and brand of Acclaim. Acclaim used this during the SNES and Sega Genesis peak era for a lot of games that were published. For this game, they used it on the North American and European releases. Aside from that, Japan stuck to Hot B. The game was developed by a gentleman, again, pardon my mispronunciation, known as Yoshinori Satake. Satake started working on arcade-based steampunk aviation games in the late 80s, and eventually this is the game that came to fruition. Empire of Steel is a side horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up. Some games that I've played that are very similar to this are Galaxian, Defender for the Atari, Galaga, and R-Type. And since we're talking about shoot 'em up, I'm going to reference one of my favorites and near and dear to my heart is Zone of the Enders. This was a fast-paced shoot 'em up that was released for the PlayStation. If you've never played it, I suggest find it, play it. It's a great game. Um, Empire of Steel was later ported to the Nintendo Game Boy Advance and later the Nintendo 3DS. Apparently in 2012 there was talks about a possible sequel called Burning Steel, but that's yet to come to life. It was just something I found while doing research of this game. But that's a quick intro to this game. Let's get our hands nice and dirty in the actual game itself. So let's switch over to that. Alright, so here we are. This game is pretty much centered around an existing battle between an evil empire known as the Motorhead Empire and a rebellion known as the Republic of Silverhead. It seems that the empire has enslaved the entire planet and is up to the rebellion to help liberate it from the empire's evil grasp. The game's mechanics are pretty straightforward as you pretty much get to pilot one of two ships, and let me skip right through this real quick and let's just hit start. Here we go. You get to pilot one of two ships, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. As we can see, the top ship gives you the ability to have high speed and has concentrated power towards the ground, but lower health. At the bottom, we have a secondary ship, one that has more concentrated power towards the air, low speed, but in the plus side, it has more health. So for this, I'm going to go with the top plane because I actually like agility a little bit more than I do slowness. Alright, let's start this up. Now I've paused this game really quick to go over some of our status and numbers at the top of the screen. On the top left we have our score, we have number of life, which is 3 is where we're allowed to start off with, and the level we're on. On the top right we have our health, which is our vital. EX I believe symbolizes the firepower of the plane, and bombs. Bombs are unique weapons given to your plane to basically help clear out the screen or deal a large amount of damage to a boss enemy. Now as we go through the game, it's a straightforward shoot 'em up. Enemies come to you, you shoot them. Some enemies drop upgrades. These upgrades can vary from upgrading your health, giving you bombs, extra lives, better firepower, or score. So let's go. Alright, we can shoot forward, we can shoot backwards, and we have bombs. Let me see, where is it? There it is. As you can see, it clears out the screen dealing a large amount. Now, I think what makes this game really unique is the steampunk look and feel to the game. A lot of shoot 'em ups of the time pretty much stuck to either looking futuristic or trying to look like conventional military jets, which to me it's fun and all, but this pretty much was a unique take on its fantasy. What I don't like about this game is you take quote-unquote ground damage if you go too low, and I can show you right here. See that? There's no real floor there, but if you go low, your plane will take damage, and I believe this was done in a way to discourage players from just sticking to the bottom of the screen and getting around the levels that way. And so this forces you to have to play the game through fairly. What I do like about this game is the ability to shoot backwards. This makes the game feel very dynamic. A lot of shoot 'em ups, you could only shoot forward and dodge enemies, and that was pretty stale after a while. This gives the ability for enemies to either flank you or you flank them, causing you to have to reevaluate your position and attacks on the enemy. Like I said, it makes the game feel more dynamic that you can shoot backwards. Like I said, one of the aspects of the game is at the end of every level we're going to face off against a boss ship, a larger, tougher boss. Once we can defeat that, we will be allowed to progress to the next level. I actually had to do this a few times because it was pretty difficult the first time around. Let's drop a bomb here, and we should be able to get through this. Like I said, this is a fun game, Empire of Steel. If you haven't had a chance to play it, go ahead and try it. It's a lot of fun. Let's just beat this guy up real quick. I appreciate you guys sticking with me through this. I thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing some of your videos. And see you guys later.